All right, all right, all right. I'm here with my guy.
Searching.
My guy.
Finally,
Jevon Holland,
finally doing
baby.
it. Finally
Miami
doing it.
Dolphins.
For sure.
Let's fucking go, baby. When I did my Googling, my research, bro, you technically a Canadian?
I'm not just technically Canadian. I am half Canadian.
Really?
Well, like citizen-wise, I'm
You got dual
I'm
citizenship?
dual citizenship.
No shit.
So they can't ship me back to Guantanamo Bay or wherever they're sending everybody else. I am fully American, fully Canadian. Split that in half. Dual citizenship.
How? Okay, well, now that you were in America and you decided to play American football,
Right.
how'd you end up at Oregon?
A couple things. One, I'd say like the first influence of Oregon was my older brother. So my older brother is 4 years older than me, so he went through like the whole circuit of getting recruited and like figuring out where he was trying to go to college. He ended up going to City College San Francisco, but he loved Oregon, and so that obviously I was paying attention to whatever he loved. I loved because I was his younger brother. So that was like the first start of it, and then when I got in college, I'm in high school, like playing 7-on-7 and whatnot, traveling up and down the West Coast. We visited all the schools: Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, and when we got to Oregon, met some of the teammates, some of the guys there, the coaches, and I had already, kind of got some buzz, and they knew who I was and asked me to, come on like a, little private little, tour of the school. So
Right.
that was kind of the beginning of that, me really talking to them and starting to get to know the players. But by the time that I committed, bro, I felt like I was already a part of the team. It felt like if I was going somewhere else, I would have to restart the connections that I already had with the players and coaches that were already there. So it was like a no-brainer for me to go to Oregon. And plus, one of my closest friends, Steve Stevens, who's out of Fresno.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I know Steve played at Edison. I played at
he
Edison.
played at Edison. Yep. He committed to Oregon at passing down April 31st. The next day, I committed. And when we were getting recruited, Keith Hayward, who was our then safeties coach, called both of us and was like, if I get you two, then my recruiting's done. It's like you two, and then that's the future of Oregon. So shout out Steve, shout out Hayward. Steve actually just got signed to the Edmonton Eskimos, so shout out to him. He's going out there 31st of May. But yeah, bro, it was a long process, but after a while, I was just kind of like, Oregon is like where I'm supposed to be at.
I mean, naturally, too, growing up, because we're relatively the same era, like, growing up and seeing Oregon go through its peak before your time, like,
Right.
bro, it's the most lit uniform combos in the game. Like,
100%.
it doesn't matter. I mean, I was the first dude. They were really the first ones to really throw a logo on the gloves.
Yeah.
Best believe I was looking up Google constantly trying to see how I could get some Oregon gloves. That was the thing.
eBay and Oregon gloves, Oregon cleats, that was like the
Bro.
thing in middle school and in high school.
They were the first ones, too, to, I think, go outside the box on uniforms
Right.
and just do, when the highlighter drops.
Yeah, so they
pink.
dropped the highlighter, the pink. They had the web foot where it looks like a duck.
Raw.
They had the blue, the navy blue. So that was like when they
Yes,
first had
old
the
school.
throwbacks, right? So them and Maryland, I think, were like, because Maryland was Under Armour,
Okay.
and it was their jerseys were already abstract. So it was kind of like Oregon doing it first, and then like I felt like Under Armour was trying to mimic that and do their own version of it. But Oregon just had so much variety, and they had so much, just kind of history of being in Oregon, Calipuya, which is like the Native Americans, the Polynesian influence coming from LA and Hawaii. Plus Marcus is there, and then after he won the Heisman, they got an influx of just. It was kind of like a lot of Polynesians would go to Oregon. Haloti Ngata was another one. So I just think that it was so prominent for them to have so much diversity, like back in the day, and to be able to like put that into the jerseys in the future.
Right.
Like they had unlimited options.
What was your favorite uni combo at a University of Oregon?
When I played 18 and 19. We were playing at Stanford in 19. We wore apple green helmets with like a apple green wing that was kind of like metallic, all white top with apple green numbers, apple green pants, white socks and cleats. Fire. That was my favorite uniform. And I wore the Jordan uniform with like the gray cement.
Oh, yeah.
Cement threes with the Tinker threes. But by far, that was like my favorite. Just because the colors were appealing, but that was my favorite uni.
Do you get to keep all your jerseys?
Yeah, so you have your jersey that you wear, right?
Right.
But then there's also like 2 extras in case you like air or something like that, right? So you get all 3 of those. So I might go to a game.
They just give them to you.
I might go into a game with wearing one jersey and have the 2 other ones. So I got the game jersey, and that goes in they have like a closet for every player ever to play until they grab all their jerseys and then they replace that same number with, a different guy.
Every guy's name, yeah.
So going back, I had like 56 jerseys from my 2 years there just because we have so many extras. Bro, Unreal.
You just got them in the closet somewhere?
I mean, I have a couple now, but I sold some of them, gave them to some friends,
Right.
like kind of spread them around. But I have my Redbox Bowl jersey.
Well,
I have
those type, you got it.
Yeah,
with
like Redbox
anything,
Bowl.
anything with a patch on it.
Right, like Rose Bowl jersey, Pac-12 championship jersey. I have my Jordan jersey. But I mean, after 3, it's like, all right, I don't really need that.
I only got so much wall space.
Yeah, like I don't really need that many more. So, yeah, now I send them back to my family and stuff. I don't keep them there. All my parents' crib. They keep them safe.
I feel like the league doesn't even do that.
So the league has extras. Usually it's by game, and you're not trading a jersey every game, but you can trade jerseys after the season, after the game. But after the season, you get to go back and like buy all of your jerseys. They don't just give them to you. You got to buy them.
You got to buy them.
You buy your jersey, you buy your helmet. If you want to, you buy shoulder pads. Like you can purchase stuff because then they get refurbished every year.
Right.
Use them in the off season, but yeah, I'll have like 5 or 6 extras after the end of the year, or you can like ask them in the beginning of the year to send you to buy some more for you because you know that you're going to be trading with multiple people.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a whole process, bro.
What was your favorite moment playing at Oregon? Because you had a pretty good fucking era.
Yeah, it was fun, bro. It was fun. I mean, as a team, I would say the Rose Bowl and the Pac-12 championship. Individually, I would say my first game back from leaving the Bay. So we played Cal my freshman year, and I had 2 picks.
Yeah.
I think, and one pick to close the game. I think that was like one of my favorite moments. That, and I had a pick 6 against Washington State. That was pretty fire. So those two were probably a highlight. Or the Auburn game. Okay. So funny thing about the Auburn game, it was the first game of the 2019 season. All offseason I'm playing safety. Like I'm free safety, and Verone McKinley is playing nickel. And then 3 days before the game on Thursday, our DC Andy Avalos was like, "Yo, I need you to play nickel." So me and him switched positions. So I'm like 4 days in playing a new position. Going crazy. Me and Verone going crazy in that game. So that was super dope for me, just to be able to like switch positions and like have such an effect. I had like 8 tackles, like a pick, like a 98-yard punt return on national television. Just at Jerry's World too. Like it was fire.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fire.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Your time at Oregon's done. The draft process begins to start. And I love asking this question this week because my middle brother is in this year's upcoming draft from Fresno State. He had a fucking great senior year. He's gonna run fast as shit. Like, and being his older bro, like, agents will reach out to him, and he just screenshots it, sends it to me. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck do we know about this guy?"
Right.
And I've interviewed so many dudes on Bring News. I damn near have one connection to.
Right. You're like
you're one. Right. So I'm Googling shit, Instagram stalking, just trying to find a lane here.
Yeah.
It's a unique process, bro.
Right.
And I love asking it because 1, everyone has a different story. 2, everyone's draft experience never goes how they thought it would go. What was your process? How'd it go?
So my draft process started in COVID, right? So I'm thinking, coming out of the 19th season when we won the Pac-12 championship in Rose Bowl, I'm like, I'm about to go in my junior year. I'm the only underclassman on the Jim Thorpe semifinalist. So it's 14 of the top DBs. I'm the only sophomore. There's juniors and seniors. I'm like, I'm set up to win that shit next year.
Of course.
Win the Thorpe, go to the league. So going into spring ball, I'm excited. Like 3 days into spring ball, COVID happens. And they're like, brings in the team meeting, like, "Yo, guys, like, go home. Like, don't book a return flight. We don't know yet." So
it's crazy.
Bro, which is crazy. So we go home, like, all summer, I'm training and stuff with my pops, because I was blessed to have my dad, who is a personal trainer. We have our own gym and everything, so we're still training. I'm still doing my thing.
Yeah.
And then coming into the season, I'm getting ready, and like, we're back in the summer. We're still working out, expecting the season to start, and then they ended up canceling our season. So I had to make a decision, like, am I going to try to play, or but I was already on Mel Kiper's top 10, so I'm like, all right, I got the tape enough to show that I can leave. Keith Hayward, my safeties coach, was like, "If I'm you, I'm leaving." He's like, "Bro, you got 800 snaps, like 2 positions, you're good." So I ended up declaring, and I started training in
hold
LA.
on. You started spring ball anticipating to play that season.
Right.
COVID stopped, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm going to the league."
Literally.
What?
So I sat out 2020 season because they brought it back like October, and it was kind of like
it was half. It was like 6 games.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
It's my brother's freshman year.
It was weird. So I sat out. I started training in November in LA, and I'm expecting to go to the combine because we're out of COVID. Kind of the seasons are coming back, so I'm expecting to go to the combine. I'm training November, December, January, February. End of February, early March is when the combine is, right? So they end up canceling the combine like 3 weeks before the combine. So my pro day isn't until April 1st, right? So
So you're damn near off
November,
of football a year
whole
almost.
year. And I'm training from November, December, January, February, March, April. So I'm 5 months of me just straight grinding every day, like obviously I got breaks, but like I'm really putting in work, right?
Yeah.
So I end up putting on like 10, 15 pounds.
Purposely or just?
Like on purpose. Like I was 196 my last year at Oregon, and then when I weighed in at the combine, I was like 212. I was like way bigger than I've been since I've been in the league. Literally thick body. And like everybody's like, why you putting on so much weight? You haven't played. So it was weird because
they thought you got like
they got fat. I haven't right. So they're like, why you putting on so much weight? Like what's the problem? So I don't play for a year. The draft process, like as I'm doing it, I know I'm gonna kill the meetings. Like I'm gonna kill the interviews because I love football.
Good. Yeah.
Right. But the main question was like, why'd you sit out? Da 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 da. So obviously I had to explain to them. Obviously, it's my family decision, my decision, and taking into account everything that went down, I decided to sit out. But the weird part about the draft is like, you do all of that prep work, you do all of the talking and whatnot, and it could be a team that you don't even speak to for real.
Yeah.
Like I had an interview I talked to the Falcons a lot. I talked to the Patriots a lot. I thought the Falcons were going to pick me up. I talked to the Jets and the Jaguars. But when we got into the draft, like I had barely talked to the Dolphins. I didn't even know who the defense coordinator was.
No shit.
Up until like 2 weeks of me going out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So the combine gets canceled. We still go out to Indianapolis, whatever, do like the medical stuff. Then I'm back kind of just training. I go to my pro day. I weigh in. Team that's not going to be said comes up to me and is like, how are you going to run this today? So keep in mind, we run 40s like leading up to the week.
Right.
So the week before I ran 4.39. I'm like, I'm going to run fast. Like, I'm confident, right?
Yeah.
So the guy's like, on the team's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, like, I'm positive. Like, I'm going to run fast. I know I'm fast. I literally got it laser, 4.39.
Yeah.
He's like, are you sure? We don't know about that. I'm like, all right. Like,
kind of being a dickhead?
Like, kind of being a fucking dickhead. I'm like, all right, bro, like,
fuck you, bro.
You don't have to be a dick, but sure. Like,
also, who the fuck asked that?
He just came up to me randomly. I'm like, hey, how you doing, coach? Like, oh, what's up? Like, are you going to run fast today? We think you're going to run about 4.6, 4.7. I'm like.
And that's disrespectful.
I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm going to run fast. He's like, what do you think? I'm like low 4.4. 4.3 maybe if I get out. He's like, we don't think that. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
What'd you run?
4.4. 4.45. But multiple people clocked me 4.42, 4.4. But, they got to round it out because it's all hand time and shit, right. Which I get because we didn't have the combine. But I'm rolling at 212. Like,
that's rolling.
Large. Like, I'm I'm a thick individual at that time.
Like honey.
Literally. Like molasses, cold molasses. So, bro, I'm like, so that was just weird. And it was a lot of things like that. Like, one coach that I had done an interview with, I got on the call on my phone in the car because I was at a workout. And I told him I was at a workout, and I was about to drive home, but it was like a 45-minute drive. It was traffic. I was like, I'm going to just take it in the car. So I took it in the car, told him that before. They got on the call. Obviously, my Wi-Fi is, like, not – the shit's kind of blurry or whatever. But I told him, like, audio's all good. And the guy's like, the head coach is on the call, the GM, the whole defensive staff. They're like, the head coach like, this fucking call looks like shit. He's like, I can't believe you would make a call like this. Like, this call looks like shit. And he turns his camera off. And I'm kind of sitting there like, I'm kind of smiling like, that's cool. Like, y'all, do y'all want to do the interview still? Or like, do not want to do the interview? I'm kind of laughing. And he comes back on the call. He's like laughing and stuff. So my interpretation was like, he's just trying to like get me off my game, whatnot. But and that happened a lot. Like, a lot of teams want to see how you can handle confrontation that you're not expecting, which I handled well. And, anytime they asked me some questions, like, they told me to like regurgitate information about a defense, I would do it. That's fine, no problem. I'm not really that's like second nature.
Right.
But it was like the little shit that was like.
No, they do fucked up shit.
They do fucked up shit.
Yeah.
So, and I would have enjoyed the in-person shit because how would that have gone?
You're personable.
Exactly. But it would have been interesting to like fly to a place, talk to them, literally be in there. They're asking you questions, and when you're in front of a whiteboard and they're like, hey, let me see a 3-4 defense, or like to show me cover 4. You got to put it up right now. It's not even like you can like think about it and like, okay, let me, it's way faster than what's happening on the field. So being in the classroom, like, you really got to be on your shit. But yeah, so I ended up running well, performed well, and after that, after the combine or after the pro day, bro, it's like you're literally just like chilling.
Yeah.
Like until April. So after I did what I did, ran fast, that's literally all I was worried about. I was like, I need to run fast.
Yeah.
Ran fast. After that, I'm like, it's wherever I end up is wherever I end up.
You went in the second round. Was there ever any, like, first-round grade you had or something like that?
So I had talked to the Raiders, and they were like, we're going to come get you at 15. So I'm like, first round? I'm like, 15? It's not bad.
Am I that guy?
Right. So first round's coming through, and I'm kind of – my agents, they're also telling me, like, what they can anticipate. They're like, maybe Raiders, maybe Ravens at 32, but just like be cool, bro. Like just second round is where you're thinking you're falling. I'm like, all right, cool. So first round was going through, and I know this, but I forgot to like obviously tell my family and stuff that's in there. So like I'm like, oh, Raiders.
You're watching
I'm
night
watching
one.
at home, night one.
Yeah, you ain't going.
The camera's there, but I'm like, I know I'm probably not gonna go.
Right.
So,
but it's a different day, so you got to have two parties.
Right. So I told my dad, I'm like, yo, 15 Raiders, like maybe. And it came up. They ended up drafting Alex Leatherwood, and my dad was like, oh, like this could be it, like. And then like it went by. So after the first day, family's like, oh, I'm sorry, like I know. I'm like, I'm good. Like I knew it wasn't really going first round. But after the first round, second round, like you can't get like fifth year options. So it's like kind of it's after 15, it's good to go second round, so you can like kind of get to the money faster. But second round is when I was like actually nervous because my agent was like, you could go any of like the first 10 picks like in the second round, like any of them.
Lit.
So I was like, like. So first one to go was Tyson Campbell. My boy I was training with, the Jaguars picked him. Second one was the Jets. They took Elijah Moore. Another one of my homeboys, Javonte Williams, with Denver. So it was the Falcons, I think, and Denver swapped places.
Wow.
Right. So I'm thinking I'm going to the Falcons because they was like calling me. They swapped with Denver. Denver picks Javonte Williams. As soon as Denver's pick is in, I get a call from Miami, and I'm on the phone talking, and then they say Javonte, but it sounds like the beginning of my name. My family like starts going crazy, like I'm going to Denver, and I'm like, I'm still on the phone. I'm like, this is Miami. And then the next pick, Miami Dolphins. Isley Brothers came up, said my name, and then after that, I was on the Dolphins. Yeah.
What was your welcome to the league moment?
I say my welcome to the league moment was playing Tom Brady and Leonard Fournette. Tom Brady won
from a
because
starstruck perspective.
From a starstruck perspective for Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette is just like an incredibly large individual. And he's at running back, so it's like hard as fuck to tackle him.
Yeah.
So I was on the sideline. I had told this story before. I was on the sideline. It was like a swing route or something, and I ran out there from the post trying to make a tackle. And I had like hit him, throw him up and stuff, and he just like kept driving his feet. And I'm still trying to. He just kept driving his feet. My helmet ended up coming off. I ended up pulling him out of bounds like 10 yards down the field. Fixing my helmet. I look up at the screen like they got the camera on me. My fucking chin strap is on my nose. I'm just like, all right. Like, I guess this is like what it feels like to play a grown man. Tragic. Oh, I actually, another one. I got ran over on the goal line against the Raiders. I was supposed to be in like the C gap, and then somebody got cracked, so I like bounced on the outside gap, and my feet are on the goal line. And Alec Ingold, who's now my homeboy, shout out Alec, was at fullback. And as soon as I like look up, Alec's like right in front of me.
Run through your face.
Just got ran through, and I was like, all right. Him, Josh Jacobs, I was just like on my back, get up, walk to the sideline. I was like, fuck, bro. That was just like a shitty feeling. Like, damn, I get this highlight. My coach is like, yeah, bro, everybody gets run over, bro. You just got to get up, keep next play.
Keep trucking.
Yeah. So.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough. Who's a dude in the league that's helped you grow as like a man?
As a man, I'd say Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, Eric Rowe. Like, these are just older guys that were on the team.
Right.
Just kind of like giving me guidance. Jay Rams, Jason McCourty, like these just veterans that were on the team, you know, really helping me navigate, Christian Wilkins, navigate my professionalism as a pro athlete, especially as a rookie. You know, I was in between X and Byron in our locker room, just kind of like absorbing all the knowledge I can from two different perspectives, from two different types of individual, a type A and a type B, but both extreme athletes, great men. So I'd say those guys were, you know, heavy individual pillars in my development.
Do you utilize, like, do you have a certain book, author, podcast, quote that you reference to help sharpen your toolbox from a mental side?
Yeah, so I feel like 2 years ago was really when I was in like my self-help book era. I started reading The Alchemist first, and that was like, you know, just kind of, you know, The Alchemist is like a, you know, journey, and he's like going through trials and tribulations, but like resilient. And then at the end, it turns out that the reward is where he started. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's reading it, sorry about the spoiler. But the reward is where he started. And that book kind of sent me into you know, the way of the superior man. My cousin had sent me that. Shout out Derek. You know, the Four Agreements. You know, I started reading Paulo Coelho's books because they were all about journey and, you know, religious journey, not so much spiritual or religious. It was more so the path in which there's a driving force or a North Star that you're trying to achieve, and you're going through these difficulties, but you're navigating it yourself, and you're figuring it out, and there's people along the journey with you, and you're, you know, allowing them to come into your life, helping you. And if they happen to depart, they happen to depart, and you allow them to depart and not try to hold on to them and end up, you know, bringing you off the path. So, yeah, bro, it was that. And then I took a step back from reading those books because they can get heavy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it can be difficult to read them, and it kind of just allowed me to figure out myself. And in a time where I was going through a difficult time. A close friend of mine had passed away. Another mentor from high school had passed away. It was like kind of back to back around my birthday, and I really needed some time to myself to think. And then out of that time, I met my girlfriend, who is like the best person that I ever met. She's unbelievable, and I just felt like, that dark time like led me right to her, and then now we're all on the up and up, and things have been great. So yeah, man, books are, if you think about books in the way that you had to think about them in school,
Oh, bro, you hate them.
you'll never read them.
I said it yesterday. I didn't read a book. I read a book. I read Hunger Games in 6th grade,
Bro.
and then I went like 12 years.
Like,
And when I was done playing ball, bro, the identity crisis. I mean, this is why I started bringing the juice. Like,
Right.
you're so used to the structure,
right,
and guys who they finish ball and they fucking just
plummet.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And I was like, how can I take this same approach I took to sports and apply it to business,
Right.
to being a now dad, husband,
Right.
shit like that. And
Congrats, by the way.
thank you. It's much easier said than done, and that's literally why I wanted to start this shit. And it keeps me in the game. But if you could approach trying to be the best football player, athlete, whatever you want to call it, the same way, okay, how am I really going to provide for my family right now? How am I really going to
Literally.
level this shit up?
Like, what am I not doing?
Because it's the same shit.
Literally.
Like, you want goals, okay, you got to do a bunch of little ass shit.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to, everything in this world, to consistent attention to detail.
Right.
I say consistent because everyone gets a fire lit under their ass every once in a while. And it's like, I'm going to go buy a new notebook. I'm going to start working out
Right.
3 times a day. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to
That's
get
just like the New Year's resolution. Like,
That's all it is.
Everybody's in the gym from January 1st to January 10th. And then once that
Exactly.
shit, you know what I'm saying? Once the eye's
ain't
not
always
as hot, you're not really going to be.
It really comes out on the days you don't want to get out of bed. And it's a little cold outside.
That's where the grit comes in.
That's where the grit comes in.
So I was just
The
having a
juices.
conversation with my homeboy, Tariq Owens. He's on the 49ers, one of my best friends. We grew up together. He had to train because my dad is he's a trainer. So he trained at my pop's gym for his draft shit. Like he did the prep by himself. My dad has his booklet, and my dad was there helping him out. But like it was him that had to do it. So he basically got himself ready for the combine, for the draft, for the league. So I had to do the same thing, but it was me getting ready for college. And me getting ready for like high school ball. So I did the same thing, like being by myself. But he was dolo doing that shit by himself. And it was days where you walk into the gym and it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And you're the first one in there. And there's nothing set up, no music, no nothing. You just ate, you gotta go in there and warm up. You might be in there for an hour, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's just the case. That's
Very well could post up and scroll Instagram for fucking
easily,
an hour. And be like,
could just
"Man,
be in
fuck
there
this
fucking
shit
around
today."
until somebody walks in and is like, yo, get the workout done.
Yeah.
But he had to do it because he knew that if he didn't do it right then, and this is something that my dad told me when I was a kid, if you don't do it per se himself, if he doesn't do it for him, if his 27-year-old self or his 23-year-old self doesn't do it at the time, looking back at 30, looking back at 29, he's gonna be upset that he didn't put the work in then. But if you put the work in now, like if I put the work in at 24, at 30 I'm gonna look back and be like, man, I appreciate myself back then because now it's easier for me to live and I know where to go. I have a North Star direction where I want to go to, like you said, provide for your family, to be successful in my sport, etc.
Yeah.
So that grit, that's where that shit comes in.
Absolutely.
Is when the shit is hard and you really don't feel like doing it. You get up anyway.
You have to.
Literally.
Have to.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
I am.
Literally.
And the fucking logs.
Yes, the logs too.
I was asking a dude yesterday if he liked Goggins. He's like, nah, I really don't fuck with Goggins. And I was just like, okay. Like,
With who?
I forgot who it was. Somebody didn't fuck with Goggins.
With God?
David Goggins.
Oh, Goggins. I just said God. I was like, what the fuck?
No.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be fucked
I
up.
was like, whoa.
What about when adversity strikes? Where's your head go?
For me, immediately it's like, okay, I have something to work on. That's my mindset. Like, if I'm doing everything right
Next play.
and I don't have anything to work on that play, I'm like, okay, how can I even be better?
Right.
But if something's wrong and I'm fucking up, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be down on myself for half a second because I'm going to allow myself to feel that feeling of like, fuck, I don't like this.
Put some salt in the wound for a
Exactly.
little bit.
But right after that, I'm like, okay, I have something to work on.
Yeah, you can't sulk in shit.
You can't do it. Because if I'm sulking in that and I'm not like, all right, like, bro, if I'm just sitting there like, woe is me, then I'm not getting better. But if I'm like, okay, I fucked up, this is something I got to work on. This is something that I got to improve. Like, that's literally my mindset. All year, people Twitter blowing up like, you can't tackle, you can't tackle. Like, I fucked up my hand. I broke my hand. Broke my wrist, too. It's hard to tackle without a hand and a wrist. But I'm not dwelling on that shit.
Right.
I'm like,
You're not gonna be responding to DMs.
I'm like, let me figure out how to do it without it. Let me figure out how to get it done. Something that I've never done before. Glad that I was able to go through it because I can figure out how to tackle without a hand. It may not be as clean, as proficient.
Get the motherfucker down.
I'm get the motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that I was able to go through an adversity like that and have to get through that. Like, even just small injuries.
Yeah.
Like, going through small injuries, it just tells me, okay, what do I need to do prehab so that I'm even better and I can prevent myself from even getting in a situation like this. So, yeah.
I say Twitter fingers, but like, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there these days.
Sure.
I didn't think I'd get to the point where like people on Bring the Juice will be DMing me like, bro, I interviewed Justin Fields last year, and I thought I did great. Shit went nuclear.
Right.
About 95% of the comments were great interview, blah, 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 blah. About 5% were like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
He needs to talk less, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I haven't experienced that since being an athlete.
Right.
I didn't expect to have that in this form
setting
of life.
Yeah.
And also part of me is like, I'm not an athlete anymore. I don't got to be politically correct. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Literally.
Like, I'm responding to people's
bro,
shit.
even as an athlete, like, there's some people who say shit and I'm just like,
Bro,
yo,
like, bro,
fuck
you don't got a profile picture. You're probably a fat ass 50-year-old
Right.
man, sad as shit.
Exactly. It's like
Fucking
once every 100.
little ass
I'm like,
chode,
bro,
like-
some dude just DM'd me and was like, "Fuck you, you fucking bitch! You just got 4 picks on me in Madden. They need to nerf your dumb ass. I hope you have no success." I respond. I'm like, "Fuck you! You suck at Madden!" Like, and then he deleted it. Like, that's most of the case. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna say some shit and then you respond and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, bro, my bad, bro. I'm a big fan." Like, exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I've done this before too on the pod where I'm like, every time, I'm talking every time, a motherfucker will never act that way in real life.
Never.
Like, ever.
Never, bro.
I have dudes I'll Bring the Juice where I know, I don't respond. I know who they are. I'm a big mental note guy.
Right.
Huge, like, I keep receipts.
Like, okay, I know who you are.
And they switch it up on you, you know? Or I hear from a third party like, yo, so and so they were talking shit. They were
Right.
talking shit on the pod. A lot of news reporters don't like me because I got connects and I've built networks and relationships. And mainly it's because I played fucking ball at Fresno State. Like,
Exactly.
my friends my groomsmen of my wedding are in the NFL. I'm gonna fucking text my boys like,
Yo, give me this podcast with this guy, like, or come on the show,
I
or
literally, Jay Daniels is right here. One of my best friends is Michael Walker on the Commanders. I went out there. I was actually at the game. We went to the fucking game when the Hail Mary happened.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking insane.
it's fire.
If you like football, you're like, fuck yeah, bro. Unless you're a Bears fan or the fucking number 29.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Tyreek Stevenson. Yeah.
But like, fuck, that's not his fault. But still, at the end of the day, like, I texted Mike. I'm like, yo, Jay Daniels is here. He's like, bro, 15 dudes in the Washington Commanders locker room are rocking Bring the Juice hats. Like, I interviewed Frankie Louvu, Jordan McGee,
Right.
bunch of fucking dudes. And that's just me texting my boy. Like, I'm not paying for them. I've never paid for someone to come
Already
on the
rocking
pod.
the gear. So
Like-
I'm sure they're probably like, bro, yeah, of course. Like,
And what we've known each other. We met 5 minutes at a fucking
Exactly.
at golf tournament.
Quick, like-
chopped it up, little Instagram DM, everyone there. Like, I feel like we've known each other fucking 10 years, bro.
Literally, bro.
Like, if you wanted to go get teppanyaki later, I'd be like, bet.
fucking do it.
I'm
Right.
getting chicken and
I just
steak.
think when you have that perspective, though, like when you have that atmosphere about yourself, about the shit that you want to bring to Bring the Juice, it's like
Yeah.
that's what you're gonna invite. Like when you have that presence to yourself, that's what you're gonna invite. You're gonna invite the same type of energy. So
You have to.
when you're like fucking pissed off that somebody has connections that you don't, or
Dude,
bro,
people
just ask. He's got the connect now, so ask.
people get bitter.
People are bitter.
people get
People
bitter.
are bitter and jealous for sure.
Yeah, and even like this like in this environment here today, like respectfully, there's a lot of radio shows, reporters. It's 50-year-old dudes with a gray sports polo on with a mustard stain.
Right.
So how would you like to score a touchdown? And you're just like, bro, nobody wants like separate. I've always been, how am I going to separate myself from my competition?
Right.
So when I did this, there's a billion podcasts out there. I'm like, okay, I played ball long enough and had a sports trainer where like I could relate. Like if we wanted to talk about fall camp right now, we could talk about fall camp stories all fucking day. Fucked up shit.
People don't
couple
realize how
days.
tough fall camp is.
If anybody, I think that's the nucleus where anybody ever played ball.
Fall camp is ass.
I respect them this much more because I'm like, you played ball for more than 1 year.
Right.
You went through a fall camp. You must have some sort of balls. Like you
Some
must have
sort.
some nuts.
Some sort.
right?
Literally.
So that mutual respect, I think, is one thing. And then I always want to put the boys in the best position to succeed. I don't, like, bro, if you had a super bad rap or a track record or you got, arrested or some bullshit, I'm not going to be the guy who's like, so do you feel bad about shooting yourself in the kneecap?
Literally, like.
And now, if you, like, we had a guy on, he shot himself in the leg in college. Like, it was a bullet point on my paper. I said, I'm not going to bring it up. He ended up bringing it up. I'll follow up on the question now.
Okay, you open the door.
You're willing to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
And he's like, yo, I was a dumbass college kid. Like, this is stupid shit. Right. He was open to it.
Right. When you people like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when the environment is like relaxed,
yeah,
and like you ask a question that in a more not more professional, but a more corporate manner.
Yeah.
Then it could be.
You're gonna get a corporate answer.
Literally, you're gonna get a corporate answer, and you're gonna be like, they're not gonna be comfortable enough to just talk about it,
bro.
But like in this setting like this, bro.
Well, usually when you come to Fresno, you'll see the real studio.
Right.
And usually we drink like a motherfucker on this thing.
Right.
Tequila sodas. I gotta handle a Hennessy. Like, I'm chilling. Like, whatever. My mom usually like cooks a nice dinner after. Like, dude,
love that.
We're chill.
It's supposed to be like, hey,
I want this to be a vibe where people go, oh yeah, you know Frank for Bring the Juice, bro? Like, go on his shit. He's fucking cool as shit. His merch is sick. He's trying to make it to where the athletes are elevating and telling their story in a positive way. And like, there's not enough authenticity in this category.
I was just telling my boy Jason about that. Like, I feel like in sports in general, there's a lot of like on-screen shit, and obviously for reporters and shit, yeah, there's that. But it's starting to bleed into like you said, like podcast areas and other media outlets because people want to be related to those, like ESPN, Sports Center, like TSN. They want to be related to that, but they also don't want the super political aspect of it. So they have their own very professional podcast. But it's like, bro, the more relaxed you do and talk about sports, like,
bro,
just be a dude.
Again, one of the missions here, there might be a soccer mom watching this right now. Right. And she likes Bring the Juice because she has a few kids that play football, Pee-wees, Pop Warner type shit. Right. And her husband likes the Eagles. Like, so she's involved in the game. She likes our hats. She taps in. This is entertaining for her. And I have a personal goal where I want to be like, as I go through my conversations, you being a defensive player for the Miami Dolphins and her being a soccer mom in Cincinnati, y'all are very different, but you also have a lot in common. Like, you get pissed if someone says some shit on Twitter that you don't want. Like, I'm sure she would too. Like,
exactly.
Bro, if somebody hit your car, you're going to be fucking pissed. She's going to be fucking pissed.
Exactly.
Like, if you got diarrhea, you're going to be fucking pissed. Like,
you can be fucking pissed off, sweating, having to go. Like,
bro, you got a runny nose. You're like, fuck, bro, I do anything to not have a runny nose right now, bro. And that, like, in this world, as elite as people are, people love seeing how many Instagram followers guys have. They love seeing the money, the cars they drive. That's all great. It is. And the world does revolve on money. Let's not get it twisted.
No doubt.
But, bro, you're just, like, we're just dudes.
Dudes, bro.
And
being guys, man.
Dude, that's it.
Literally.
And, like, if you just won a football game, like, yeah, bro, I just had a successful day at the office. Like, I'm going to crack a cold one. I'm going to pull.
I'm go to Chili's and get that 2 for $20, man. Like,
hey, Chili's fucking slept on.
Chili's has the best cheesecake. Yeah, no free shout-outs, but Chili has the best cheesecake I've ever had. Just saying, if you haven't had Chili's.
Chili's is fucking fire.
So.
All right, before we wrap it up, let's talk a little golf.
Let's do it.
What's your handicap right now?
So, man, I really haven't played in a minute. I told you I fractured my wrist. I haven't played in a minute. When I stopped playing, I was like 10 and a half handicap.
Oh, you're raw.
I was playing well. I really was. And off the tee, I was mini driver off the tee, burner off the tee and straight, no spin, nothing. 270 every time.
Automatic.
I can play with that. I'm not drive the tee. I would rather be.
You saw me fucking swing it.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be straight and narrow and right down the middle. I'd rather be straight and short than long and wide.
Of course.
Oh,
why do you think those fucking old ass white dudes are out there shooting 80s,
literally
walking? Bro. Just hit up it straight.
Every club 100 yards. But seriously, bro, I was playing well. So when I get back, hopefully my mind resets so my swing thoughts are like real calm. But I'm itching to come back soon.
What would you say your biggest strength is on the course?
I would say my approach irons, like long irons, like 7 iron, 6, 5, 8. I would say like my short game, chipping and stuff can improve. But if I really work on it, then it really starts to pick up.
Who's your dream golf foursome to play with?
Min Woo Lee has to be in there. The chef.
Damn, I did not expect that. To
I
be
think,
you're
bro,
undisputed.
No, yeah, Min Woo Lee is just fucking cool, bro. He's fucking cool. Mustache, Australian dude. It can be anybody.
Anybody
Okay.
of existence ever.
Fuck. Phil Mickelson, for sure. Min Woo Lee, just because I think their banter would be hilarious. And I think Sahith Theegala is just like, would be a chill dude. I actually saw him in Florida. There's like this thing called CB Smith Park. Sahith Theegala, I walked there to get some range balls. He's there with his swing coach right before the TGL game, like two nights before.
No shit.
And I'm walking up to him and I'm just like, yo, bro, you're that guy? He's like, yeah. I was like, sick. Just walked away. It's like no picture. I'm not trying to like get a flicker on. I'm just like, yo, bro, sick, bro. So I think that would be my dream four. I think Scotty would be chill.
Scotty would be chill.
Like he's definitely in there 5. I just like all of their game. I like Min Woo Lee's game. I like I like Steph Curry's game.
Steph Curry would be cool.
It'd be cool.
Dude, I'd feel like a John Daly in there or something.
John Daly would be chill.
Like I need some.
Just grip and rip.
I need some fucking.
Yeah, just grip and rip.
Give me some birdie juice.
Yeah.
What do you drink on the course?
I'm a hypnotic guy.
On the course?
Of course.
Bro, we have to clip that.
Hypnotic.
That's criminal.
Oh no. What's the drink? Transfusion.
I was about to say.
No, not hypnotic.
I was about to
Transfusion.
say, bro. That is criminal.
Not hypnotic. Transfusion. If I'm non-alcoholic drink, it's an Arnold Palmer, just so I can channel.
Yeah.
I can channel
You're
that.
feeling it, but you're not feeling it.
Right. Gatorade if I'm dehydrated. But yeah, I'm Arnold Palmer and transfusion for sure.
If the cart girl comes over, it's like, hey, we're ripping shots. What kind do you want? What do you take?
Fireball.
Has to.
Cinnamon has to be. So
Has
good.
to be.
It's just that's the juice.
A nice little cold one.
Fire in the belly. Come on now.
Tell me the situation where you say, boys, we got to switch shit up here. We need to go rip a fireball shot on the course. Like, tell me the moment where it's like,
it's like all 4 of us are like not great off the tee.
We all just triple.
Shot. It's like the next, like before we swing our next shot, bro.
We gotta get one.
Rip one. You already gotta have at least 2 rounds ready in the cooler.
Yes.
It's like just because. Like if we're off the
emergency.
First tee breakfast ball, it's like, all right, guys, look, breakfast ball, that's cool. We'll get into it. If we're by T3,
it's still shitty.
Yo, rip one.
Yeah.
We need the juice, bro.
And guess what? It could be fucking 7 a.m.
Doesn't matter.
It's like a casino on a golf course.
It doesn't matter. If I'm on the course, I need a mustard ketchup relish dog and a fireball shot at some point on the whether I'm back 9, front 9, it's gonna happen.
That's it.
It's gonna happen.
That's it, bro. Jevon, I appreciate you, bro. This has been fun as shit. I hope you make it out to the tourney. I promise you'll have a fucking shit ton of fun. But blessings moving forward. Wish you good health, bro. I'll send you more hats. I'm kind of low on. I don't got my hot shit out anymore, but Godspeed, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. That was great.